The Middle-Length Discourses of the Buddha. 81. The Potta Ghatikara. Ghatikara Sutta. I heard thus. At one time the Blessed One was going on a tour in the country of Kosala, with a large community of bhikkhus. The Blessed One, coming to a certain region, stepped out of the path and smiled. Then it occurred to Venerable Ananda. The Blessed One does not smile for nothing. Why did the Blessed One smile? Then Venerable Ananda, arranging his robe on one shoulder, clasped his hands towards the Blessed One and said, Venerable Sir, for what reason did the Blessed One smile? Ananda, in the past in this region, there was a chief village named Vevalinga. It was very prosperous and highly populated. The perfect rightfully enlightened one Kassapa abode supported on this village. Ananda, the perfect rightfully enlightened one Kassapa sat here and advised the community of bhikkhus. Venerable Ananda folded the robe in four and placing it there said, Then Venerable Sir, sit here, so that it would be partaken by two perfect rightfully enlightened ones. The Blessed One sat on it and addressed Venerable Ananda. In this chief village Vevalinga there was a potter named Ghatikara, the chief supporter of the Blessed One, and he had an apprentice named Joshpala, a young lovable man. Then the potter Ghatikara addressed the young man Joshpala. Friend, Joshpala, let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, and rightfully enlightened. It is good to see such enlightened ones. Ananda. When this was said, the young man Joshpala said thus, Friend, Ghatikara, what use comes seeing these monkish shavelings? For the second time the potter Ghatikara said, Friend, Joshpala, let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, and rightfully enlightened. It is good to see such enlightened ones. For the third time the potter Ghatikara said, Friend, Joshpala, let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, and rightfully enlightened. It is good to see such enlightened ones. For the third time the young man Joshpala said, Friend, Ghatikara, what use comes seeing these monkish shavelings? Then friend Joshpala, take the soap powder and the brush and let's go to the river, to bathe. To that he agreed and they went to the river to bathe. At the river too the potter Ghatikara addressed the young man. Good friend, Joshpala, the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect and rightfully enlightened one's monastery is close by. Let us go and see him, it is good to see such enlightened ones. When this was said, again the young man said, Friend, Ghatikara, what use comes seeing these monkish shavelings? Ananda, for the second and third time the young man Joshpala said this. Then the potter Ghatikara took hold of the young man Joshpala by his girdle and said again, Friend, Joshpala, let us go to see the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, and rightfully enlightened. It is good to see such enlightened ones. The young man released himself from that hold and said, Friend, Ghatikara, what use comes seeing these monkish shavelings? Then the potter Ghatikara held the young man's well-washed hair and said, Good friend, Joshpala, the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect and rightfully enlightened one's monastery is close by. Let us go and see him. It is good to see such enlightened ones. Ananda, then it occurred to the young man Joshpala, it is wonderful, how this potter Ghatikara should think to touch the washed hair of one of high birth like me. He does not think it should not be touched. Then he said, Let it be your wish, good friend, Joshpala, let it be your wish too. Seeing these perfect rightfully enlightened ones is good. Friend, Ghatikara loosened the hold and let us go now. Then Ananda, the potter Ghatikara and the young man Joshpala approached the monastery of the perfect, rightfully enlightened one, Kassapa. The potter Ghatikara worshipped the Blessed One and sat on a side. The young man Joshpala exchanged friendly greetings with the perfect rightfully enlightened Blessed One Kassapa and sat on a side. The potter Ghatikara said thus to the perfect, rightfully enlightened one Kassapa. Venerable Sir, This is my lovable friend and assistant, Joshpala, give him the teaching. The Blessed One Kassapa perfect, rightfully enlightened one advised, instructed, incited and made the hearts light of the young man Joshpala and the potter Ghatikara. Then the two of them delighted and pleased got up from their seats, worshipped, circumambulated the Blessed One and went away. Then the young man Joshpala said to the potter Ghatikara, "Friend, Ghatikara, you hear this teaching, why don't you leave the household and become a homeless?"
"Friend, Joshpala, don't you know that I support my mother and father, who are blind and decayed?"
"Then friend, Ghatikara, I will leave the household and become a homeless." The young man Joshpala and the potter Ghatikara approached the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened, worshipped and sat on a side. Then the potter Ghatikara said thus to the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened, "Venerable Sir, this is my lovable friend and assistant Joshpala, give him the going forth." The young man Joshpala received the going forth and the higher ordination from the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened. Ananda, the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened 2 weeks after conferring the higher ordination on the young man Joshpala, went on a tour to Benares, and gradually reached Benares. Then, Ananda, the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened, lived in Benares in the Deer Park in Isapatana. The king of Benares Kiki Kesaraja heard, the Blessed One Kassapa perfect, rightfully enlightened has arrived in Benares, and he got good conveyances arranged for himself, and came to see the Blessed One Kassapa in all royal splendor. Covering as far as the conveyances could go, he approached the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened on foot. Worshipped the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened and sat on a side. The Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened, advised, instructed, incited and made the heart light of the king of Benares, Kiki Kesaraja. Then the delighted and pleased king invited the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened, for the next day's meal together with the community of Bhikkhus. The Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened, accepted the invitation in silence. Then King Kiki Kesaraja, knowing that the Blessed One Kassapa had accepted the invitation, got up from his seat, worshipped and circumambulated the Blessed One Kassapa, perfect, rightfully enlightened, and went away. King Kiki Kesaraja in his palace made preparations of various nourishing eatables and drinks, with cooked rice with the fine rice of the color pale yellow with the dark seeds picked, and informed the Blessed One, "Venerable Sir, the meal is ready, and it's time for the meal."